this is Lady Boulay, and thank you for clicking on the video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, your thumbs up. Thank you for supporting this channel. I just wanted to come back and make a statement about the people who voted for Donald Trump. Some of these groups that grouped up and voted for Donald Trump as if they thought he was going to magically change into somebody different than what he said he was. You've got Latino people now thinking that if they came here illegally and worked hard and went to church and had a family, that his deportation plans wouldn't affect them. There is nowhere in Donald Trump's statement where he said that if you were a family person, if you hadn't committed a crime, and if you were hardworking, but you came here illegally, that his deportation plan wouldn't affect you. He has never told anybody that. This is something these people are assuming. A lot of the Latino people, especially out west, in places like Arizona and Texas and New Mexico, they think they're safe because they work hard and they haven't committed any crimes. They committed a crime when they came across the border illegally. And also the denaturalization process, they don't think it will apply to them. They came here and became naturalized citizens through fraudulent means, had children here, and just because they've been here for 25 or 30 years and haven't had to go to jail for anything, they think they're safe. This is just unbelievable that people don't have any better reasoning ability than they have. And then let's look at the Arabs. The Arabs in Michigan, in Dearborn and around about that area, made a big deal about endorsing Donald Trump, thinking that what? What were they even thinking? Donald Trump has appointed Mike Huckabee to the ambassador to Israel. Now he's telling them that there is no such thing as the West Bank, where the Palestinians were living. He's calling that Samaria and Judea, old-timey biblical names. He's not even considering that Palestinians have any right to that land, calling it Judea and Samaria. Somebody help me. Now I know that black men voted for Donald Trump for a reason that they know. I think they were fooled about who he is, and he certainly did not lie about his plans, about what he was going to do. Now you've got the Palestinians on social media trying to, jank at black people talking about, well, if they go back, if they can denaturalize them, they can denaturalize black people. Well, that's not quite true. The 14th Amendment was passed for black people who had been enslaved in this country. A constitutional amendment cannot just be overturned just because a new president comes to office. An executive order can be, but it takes 2/3 of the United States Congress or 3/4 of the states to overturn a constitutional amendment. And so they seem to think that just because they need to start packing, that we need to start packing. And another thing about us, we didn't come over here voluntarily. We didn't sneak over here across the border lines or come in as refugees or even as legal immigrants. We came here against our will. So we're not even the same as they are anyway. And then I just saw something on TikTok, and that's been trending all over social media as well. A white woman in Arizona, Flagstaff, Arizona, which the Flagstaff is a city in Flagstaff, a city in Arizona, borders the Navajo Nation. And a few days ago, some Navajo children, indigenous children, were on a field trip walking through a park in Flagstaff, and this white woman called the police on them. saying that she didn't know if what they were doing there, and she thought they might be illegals because they were brown, a bunch of brown people walking through the park. Now, I just do not understand what people had on their minds when they voted for Donald Trump. Now, some of us were very clear about not wanting him to win. He won. He's going to do some things that black people who didn't vote for him want done. For instance, I believe he's going to do something about this illegal immigration. I do believe that. People keep saying, oh, he's bluffing. I don't believe that. And then they're saying, well, we don't have the manpower to do a mass deportation. He said, I'm going to use the military. Now, the military is not supposed to be fighting civilians in the United States. But as far as helping or assisting with the crisis, I'm not sure that there's anything wrong with that. Because they're not going to be fighting them. They're just going to be getting them up out of here. So all these people voted for Donald Trump. Black women and black men and Latino women. 61% of Latino women voted for Kamala. So they were the largest non-black group that voted for Kamala. Now, white women knew what they were getting. They knew what they were getting, and everybody knew that their vote, as far as them voting for Kamala or a Democrat, we knew that was always going to be shaky. Well, you should know that if you did. But these other people, I still don't get what they were thinking. So they voted for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is going to do exactly what he said he was going to do, and he's appointing some of the most conservative people in the country. So he says this time the denaturalization process is going to be on steroids. And these people are now whining about what he's going to do and what's going to happen, and saying stuff like, oh, he's such a racist. Well, he might be a racist, but he was straightforward about what he planned to do. So, I just don't know what people think. I just don't know. I believe, and I'm going to end with this. I believe that people think that just because Kamala was saying she was black, and a lot of black women in particular, and some black men, were saying they were going to vote for her and pushing for it. I think these people thought that they were going to gain some brownie points by voting with the white people against black people. I think that's what they were thinking. But they are the walking example, the personification of voting against your own interest. At this point, I don't even know that you can sympathize with these people. Because when you do something like that, when a person has been upfront, clear, and emphatic about what he was going to do, now he's doubling down on what he plans to do, and you thought he was going to change his mind because you voted for him? Okay, y'all, you got to let me know what you think about this, because this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. And people are going to be very disappointed. Oh, and the guy that's supposed to be the deportation czar, the border czar, or whatever they call him. One of the news people was saying, well, you're going to be separating families. You're going to be separating families. He said, well, no, we don't have to separate them. All of them can go. Now, that's cold-blooded, but that's telling it like they plan to do it. Let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and as always, have a great day.